What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're trying something a little bit new. Granted, we have done this before, but really not often on the channel, and that is I'm going to speak about some news updates, so to speak, that people have been commenting on various videos about, wanting to hear my takes and opinions with, that have perhaps been kind of a little bit too small to put in this own video, but I'm going to be rounding them up and detailing them here instead. We're going to be touching on Christian Bale's comments on returning / reprising the role of Batman in the future, and if he'd even do that, and what circumstances it would have to be under, and how I'd even feel about that. Dwayne Johnson's comments on Superman maybe cameoing in Black Adam, amongst other Black Adam news, such as a reveal, a decent look at the main villain, further updates on the evolving situation that is Ezra Miller, and also some DC TV side of things as well, such as Doom Patrol Season 4 episode title, Stargirl Season 3 premiere date, and also, why not, let's just chuck in some Gotham Knights news there for the Gotham Knights CW show, because, yeah, there's something that I just thought I would give my thoughts on there, and you'll see what I mean when we get to that. But yeah, guys, as I said, I don't usually do this, so if you enjoyed this video, help support the content on this channel by letting me know through maybe leaving a like, saying a comment that you'd like to see more of these, and hey, yeah, I'd be down for doing that if you guys are. So this video will be timestamped. If you want to just skip to the thing that you want to hear my takes on, do it. Just do it! So first of all, let's talk about something which I was surprised. I mean, of course, we have a big Batman audience on the channel, but with what, Christian Bale said about would he ever return to the role of Batman. So I believe there's been a couple of interviews, one from Screen Rant, I think, another from a YouTube channel, I forget the name, I do apologize, where there's actually video footage of it, but it's more or less the same answer condensed down. So I'm going to be taking the quote from Screen Rant, in where he says as follows: no one's ever mentioned it to me, no one's brought it up. Occasionally people say to me, oh, I hear you were approached and offered all this. And I'm like, no, that's news to me. No one's ever said that. So he goes on to say, the most interesting part, obviously, I had a pact with Chris Nolan. We said, hey, look, let's make 3 films if we're lucky enough to get to do that. And then let's walk away. Let's not linger too long. In my mind, it would be something if Chris Nolan ever said to himself, you know what? I've got another story to tell. And if he wished to tell that story with me, I'd be in. I understand why people are like, wait, what? Bale says if Nolan ever wanted to do it, he would do it, because I guess beforehand, I think there's been comments made in the past where he's like, I'm done. But now he's like, if Nolan wanted to do it, I'd do it. And the thing is, with this, of course, I guess never say never, because, for example, Michael Keaton's coming back in The Flash. Normally, a few years ago, I might have said as if, but again, Michael Keaton coming back in The Flash, Ben Affleck coming back when he said he was done, but granted, it's a cameo-ish kind of, well, it's not really a cameo, he has a bit more of a role than that in the Flash movie. People are open to it, especially in instances where, for example, this could be like 16, 17 years from now, if Nolan wanted to do another film, and this is what I envision, even though we had Bruce kind of pass up the mantle to the Robin at the end of Dark Knight Rises, so to speak. He's off with Selina chilling. We had freaking Michael Caine's Alfred, taking a sip of a cappuccino or whatever it was, giving Bruce a nod. Quite simply, you could say that something could be written that is so demanding that Bruce, even though Gotham has a new protector, he might come back in a Batman Beyond sense where Christian Bale is even older. It's kind of reminiscent of what Michael Keaton is doing. And maybe it's some kind of story, as he said here, if there's another story to tell, and if you wish to tell that story with me, I'd be in. It would obviously be an older Batman movie, so they could pull from any kind of old man Batman source material. Maybe it's about Bruce struggling to overcome whatever threat Gotham is under, and even the new Batman, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, can't exactly handle it, and like they need to come back. Maybe Alfred contacts him saying, Master Wayne, Master Bruce, or whatever, something's happened to John Blake, and you need to come in. Obviously, I don't want to keep going on about this. I said like as if I couldn't make this its own video. You know me, I feel like maybe I actually could have. But it would be something like that, if at all. But the thing is, with Warner Brothers and Chris Nolan and what's going on there, they don't exactly have the greatest relationship after the pandemic, with the decisions that Warner Brothers made with releasing movies on, HBO Max and not in the theaters. There was a whole debate about that, and they just kind of went and did it. So they're not exactly on the best of terms, but at the same time, as I said, never say never. The future is the future. A decade is a long time. A decade and a half is a long time. And I'm sure that Michael Keaton, back when he was doing Batman and after he kind of hung the cape up, he probably thought, I don't know if I'll do it again. But here we are. Here we are. So it's funny how these things happen. Bale would be up for it. And to be honest, I'm not going to lie. Like, it might have been something I said that, hey, I whatever, like, the movies are done. But the more I think about it, if the story was good enough and it was tackled in like 10, 12, 15 years from now, and you had Nolan attached to it, there could be a special old Batman story to tell there. Like with a genuinely old Batman. Not mega old, obviously. I'm not saying Christian Bale will be ancient in 12 years, but something that forces Bruce to come back to Gotham. That would be pretty damn cool. But I leave the floor open to you. Let me know your pitches for what you would like to see. How many years in between? What kind of story would you like to see tackled if Nolan and Bale decided to do like a, hey, X amount of years later, continuation of the Dark, like a one-off. It would be a one-off. It wouldn't be starting a whole new trilogy. Now, everyone, with other news in the DCEU side of things, and now we're moving on to Black Adam. Not everyone, because I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but a lot of people have wanted a cameo in some form or another with regards to the Black Adam movie and Superman. Now, this isn't confirmation, I do want to say that, but on July 1st, Dwayne Johnson put out a very interesting tweet, quote tweeting a fan, talking about being really excited for the movie, not caring if there are no cameos, but if there are, and then posting a picture of, the Henry Cavill Superman House of L crest split with the Black Adam one. And obviously, that is the typical one. It's like, oh my god, some kind of Superman reference in the Black Adam movie, from even him to notice him or something like that. It would be a big steal for fans. Now, Dwayne Johnson, as I said, quote tweeted this and said as follows: "From back in the day when I was wrestling in flea markets for $40 a match, all the way to now, I've learned to always listen to the audience because they will always lead you to where you need to go. I hear you and I always got you. Hashtag Black Adam." Now, obviously it doesn't confirm anything, but just why? Why would Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson quote tweet a fan saying if there are any cameos, I don't really care if there isn't, but if there is, basically it has to be Superman. Why would he quote tweet that saying, there's one thing I basically learned in this business, is that basically fans got me to where I am, you listen to the fans, and I've got your back, fans, with regards to a quote tweet of a Superman/Black Adam freaking logo. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think, maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself, but I think this does basically confirm that Superman will be in the movie in one way or another. Because I just don't think it is a good look baiting your audience in any kind of way with a tweet like this that doesn't outright confirm it, but extremely so suggests that some way, shape, or form, Superman will have some kind of cameo. He's not promising what kind of cameo, whether it's large, small, if it's like a blurry figure or whatever. He's just still hinting that he will be in it in some way, shape, or form. I don't think it would be a good look at all if he's kind of insinuating that, and then just to sell tickets for fans to be like, what about this tweet, bruh? Fans would lose some respect there, obviously. And I don't think Dwayne, given the context of the tweet, saying I've always learned to listen to the audience because they'll always lead you to where you need to go, like all that context about listening to fans and then just not delivering in this heavily suggestive tweet. So yes, I do think Superman will be in the movie. However, do not get your expectations up. Appreciate it for what it is, but I do not think it will be anything beyond for example, the end of Peacemaker. We had the Justice League turn up. We obviously had Aquaman and Ezra Miller, The Flash reprise their roles. But for example, Wonder Woman, we had Superman, and I believe there was meant to be a Batman and Cyborg, but they were all basically silhouettes. They were very blurry, shadowy, so I, first and foremost, would expect nothing more than that. If we're lucky, we will get maybe Henry Cavill himself on a TV news report. I don't think we'd see the actor in person. They could go to Shazam route, where they only film from, like, I don't know, the neckline down. But I don't think they're even going to do that. I think what we would get is what I've been mentioning. Some kind of blurry, shadowy figure where, I don't know, post-credits comes and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam notices there's this other hovering, flying Superman kind of figure on the news saving people. And he's like, who's this? And then, like, it cuts to the music again, to the credits rolling. And then fans are like, oh my god, Black Adam's noticed Superman. What does this mean? You know, what's gonna happen in the sequel? Obviously, it is, like, the easiest, like, most tropey cameo you could do. But I just wouldn't expect more than that. Again, go in with tempered expectations. If it's more than that, and somehow they got Henry Cavill to actually film a little scene, that's great. That's great. But I don't have those expectations. If I'm wrong, then I'm glad I'm wrong. But just know that Superman will most likely be Easter egged in some way, shape, or form in the movie, but most likely in an end of Peacemaker kind of finale kind of way. Now, in other news with Black Adam, with regards to the main villain and other characters, to be honest, we've talked about this in my Black Adam trailer breakdown. I do recommend checking it out. Now, at that time of when I posted that video, by the way, I didn't know we actually already had looks at the main villain, Sabbac, through that of a pop vinyl figure. But we've got even better now, and that is an actual McFarlane Toys figure. Now, what I will say is skip around, I don't know, like 45 seconds from now if you do not want to see the look in that of a toy figure for Sabbac, because I understand at the end of the day, for me, I don't like mega spoilers, but this, you know, I don't mind seeing the look of the villain through that of a figure, but I do understand, so skip to the next chapter maybe, because that is what we're going to look at now. So click my fingers, we're going to get into this now. So with regards to this, McFarlane Toys have officially literally put this up for pre-order. There's figures for all the Justice Society of America, Black Adam himself, and that of Sabbac. He does look very comic accurate, to be fair. I think he looks pretty decent. Obviously, I'm judging a freaking toy figure, so obviously this just gives us the decent likeness of what he will actually look like within the movie. I hope the CGI is pretty good, because as far as accuracy here, he does look like a demon. He has the horns, he has the pentagram there. But yeah, here we have it. Like, this isn't even a leak. They're putting it up. This is the thing about merch with movies. They would have had to have known that this would have been happening. So there's not really too much more to say than other than, hey, look, here's what the main villain will look like. Here's who the Justice Society of America will be going up against at present day Kahndaq with Black Adam. There's going to be obviously a lot more to the movie than that, like Black Adam coming back, adjusting to the present day situation that's going on in Kahndaq with Intergang. Behind that is Sabbac, and that's how they're going to enforce their current rule. But you know what I mean. There's gonna be a bit more to the movie, but here's the design. I dig it. Obviously this is a toy figure, so we can't really take too much from it. Let me know what you think of this. You could go to the website for yourself, check out all the figures, for example Atom Smasher and Cyclone and everything like that. But yeah, I just thought I'd chuck that in there because there's what we have to expect with the main villain for Black Adam. Alright, so up next in the news cycle that I thought I'd chuck in here, because again, people were asking about it, but I didn't really think I needed to make a whole new video about it. That's not to say I won't make new videos if major things will be happening, but I thought I'd chuck this in here because essentially we have another report, and this one is from Variety. And this is a long report, or should I say article, so I do recommend reading it yourself, because we're not going to get into all of the stuff that it does go into, but just to give you what the topic is, so to speak, they do get into the accounts from more people who are alleging more issues with Ezra Miller in the past. Also an account from the girl who was in that video a couple years ago, I believe, you know, kind of taken to the floor by Ezra. Finally, she is giving her account on that situation, opening up for the first time, as they're putting it. But the main thing I want to talk about is the movie takeaway, because one of the quotes that is coming out of this with that of, you know, the movie The Flash, of which obviously outside all of these allegations and stuff is one of the biggest topics, because it's like, how does this all affect the movie? How are Warner Brothers gonna release The Flash? Will it be this, that? Will it be in theaters? But this is what Variety had to say about this part. So as for Miller's future as a movie star, it's unclear whether they will continue to perform as the Scarlet Speedster in future projects, but Warner Brothers is still committed to releasing its $200 million budgeted tentpole The Flash in theaters in June 2023. According to sources with knowledge of the project, the film simply costs too much for the studio to scrap entirely, and reshooting with a new actor in Miller's role is similarly cost prohibitive because the actor is in virtually every scene. Also, the film likely can't generate the revenues needed to turn a profit without a robust theatrical run, so putting the movie directly on HBO Max is also unlikely. All eyes are on Warner Brothers, however, as to how it continues studios to navigate the choppy waters surrounding Miller. The studio already had to downplay the actor's involvement in Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, which opened in theaters in April. With my take on this, with what I've been saying in recent videos, well, yeah, this is kind of what I've been saying, that they, in the business sense, whether you agree or disagree, they want this movie to be successful. All of these suggestions I've been hearing about, you know, CGIing or like green screening another actor in, and again, to me, it's just always seemed undoable. It was in the can. As they say here, according to sources with knowledge of the project, it's just kind of like, yeah, not really doable. They're practically in every scene. Now, what I have been saying in previous videos is that I can't really imagine, albeit in a absolute worst case scenario, that it would be put on HBO Max exclusively, because sure, that would lean for people to subscribe to just check out the content of the movie, even if they're not a big fan of everything that's been happening in the reports, but that's not going to generate you enough money from that of what a theatrical run would do. So what I've been saying this whole time is that it is most likely, depending on how the future goes, if there's any more incidents or allegations or whatever have you, that they might kind of do what they did in a pandemic, and that is release it theatrically, but also offer you the option to watch it on HBO Max on the release date as well. Because you're going to get a lot of people who aren't so in the loop still buying tickets to the theater, but you're also going to have people who refuse to go see it, but might be like, hey, I've got HBO Max anyway, so let's watch the movie. I'm paying for the service. It's not the same thing, so to speak, as me paying for a cinema ticket. So I think they're going to go that way. They could go for a theatrical exclusive run, but I don't know. I think they might just put it in the theaters as well as put it on HBO Max. I could be wrong about that. They could put it in the theaters, but kind of do what they've done with other movies. For example, The Batman came to HBO Max, but quite some time afterwards. So instead of waiting that long, they might just wait, I don't know, even less than a month. But again, with how things have been going, and I think this does hinge on if Ezra Miller, there's even more reports that come out over the next year, because it's now around 11 months, right, until The Flash comes out. Let's just say for the most part a year. If things remain completely quiet, I'm not saying things will be swept under the rug, but I think that will give Warner Brothers enough faith to just do a theatrical run. But if there's any more little murmurs, and that's on top of a lot of already existing, you know, controversial allegations and things like that, I'm thinking it will be HBO Max release date as well as theatrical release date release. I'm not even making any sense, but I hope you kind of understood what I was saying there. As for what Variety was saying with regards to, you know, it's unclear whether they will continue, I feel like it's fairly obvious, especially from other reports, that Ezra will not be reprising the role as the Flash, regardless of the outcomes of the most recent allegations, which are extremely severe allegations. I just don't see a future for the Scarlet Speedster and Ezra Miller. I think they might want to make more Speedster content, but a recasting, I feel at this point, and again, taking into account maybe future things that might come out, is kind of like the only neutral damage control thing they can do at this point. Especially as things haven't even been addressed by either Ezra or Warner Brothers. I do want to note as well that with Variety's exclusive here, and again, this is a big article, so if you want to read it for yourself, I do recommend doing so, I guess, but they say as well that representatives for Miller had no comment. A source close to the situation tells Variety that Miller hopes to address the allegations at some point, but they have chosen to privately focus on their health and healing over the coming months. Very interesting, if, you know, to think that Ezra could very well address these allegations and their actual on-record arrests and things like that. I don't know if that's not going to happen, I don't think, before the Flash movie. I mean, if Warner Brothers aren't addressing it, I think the last thing they want is for Ezra Miller to, even though it's fair enough to have their side of things, regardless of what the public is thinking. Again, it's more bad PR for the movie no matter what, because you're going to have people not believing it. Again, it's another side where, again, depending on what Ezra says, people are going to investigate what they say and their account. I don't know. It's just a mess. So I think that's just some fluff there to be like, well, they hope to address it, but, you know, for now, we're focusing on healing. But then, you know, 11 months go by and the Flash movie's coming out. So I don't expect actual statements from Ezra Miller's team. But again, Would love your take on this. Now, Doom Patrollers, who may have skipped to this part of the video, I don't know, or maybe you're watching this video for its entire length, we finally have something on Doom Patrol Season 4. We've obviously been thirsting a little bit for content. Now, it's not massively significant stuff, and I do want to note that these are leaks. So you could argue they might not be real per se, but when it comes to episode title leaks for HBO Max or like old DC Universe shows, the same, you know, like with Titans and things like that, I will say that they're usually more accurate than not, because they're not, you know, these massive leaks for the show. It's not like a character death has been leaked or a massive season-long antagonist plot-changing moment is revealed. These are just episode titles. Now, granted, sometimes episode titles, and some of these do give a little bit more away, it is still not world-bending. So, of course, I guess take it with a grain of salt, but I am kind of leaning to the side of that these episode titles for Doom Patrol Season 4 could very well be accurate, albeit they might not be in the right order. I do want to give context to all of that. Who really knows? But let's read them out. So, Episode 1 of Season 4 is Doom Patrol. Episode 2, Butt Patrol. So it looks like we're getting into the butts again, and this could be stemming off the fact that we did have that one lonesome little butt running along the road in one of those episodes, the zombie butt that got away. We have Nostalgia Patrol. That's interesting. I wonder if it's just going to get into nostalgia for all kinds of characters within Doom Patrol, or it could be Nostalgia Patrol getting into the nostalgic adventures from that very old Doom Patrol source material. I don't know. Like, again, these are all just shots in the dark speculation from me. Next up, with episode 4 of Season 4, we have Casey Patrol. Now, this could be a whole episode about Doom Patrol Season 4's adaptation of Casey Brink, who was, you know, again, without getting into too much of this, because who knows what they're going to do, what iteration, but possibly the next chapter in Danny the Street's story, having possibly created Casey. So again, very interested to see what that episode entails. Up next is episode 5 of Season 4, Youth Patrol. Episode 6, Hope Patrol. Don't really have too much to say about these ones. Episode 7, Orquith Patrol, which is very interesting. I say that episode 7, Orquith Patrol, could be really fascinating, given that Orquith is some really top tier personified Doom Patrol level spoony ass stuff, with how it's essentially this created imaginary world, and I can just imagine the characters just be like, okay, so what the hell is going on here? Especially given that, you know, they're more of a Doom Force this season, aspiring to be superheroes, which is going to be just a brilliant storyline in of itself. So maybe this is a part of their, you know, adventures, you know, no pun intended there to the whole My Greatest Adventure thing, but it could be one of their great adventures into Orquith. But up next we have episode 8 of Season 4, which is apparently Fame Patrol. Episode 9, Immortimus Patrol, which could, you know, debut General Immortus, which, you know, I think would be really awesome, especially with references to the Immortus Project back in the very early seasons of Doom Patrol. That character as well would just be really fascinating to see on screen. Episode 10 of Season 4, Tomb Patrol. Episode 11 of Season 4, Portal Patrol. And then Episode 12 is to be determined. Now again, obviously grain of salt, might be in the wrong order. You know, for example, Fame Patrol being episode 8 could really be episode 5, but apparently this could be the right order according to the people with the inside information. But yes, makes me very happy to have some slither of info on Doom Patrol Season 4 and an idea of at least what some episodes are about. Episode 2, you know, being about Butt Patrol, looking forward to see those little freaking munching butts back again. Episode 1, Doom Patrol, I wonder if that title could be like that because, you know, even though the show is called Doom Patrol, now as aspiring superheroes, they're actually going out there as the Doom Patrol, if you know what I mean, because they haven't always really been referred to as the Doom Patrol other than Chief's old team. But I'm getting off into its own freaking video now, so would love your thoughts on this, Doom Patrollers. Let me know if you have any expanded thoughts on those episode titles like Youth Patrol, Hope Patrol, Fame Patrol, Tomb Patrol, Portal Patrol, some of the ones that I didn't comment so much on. And obviously let me know your theories behind Immortimus Patrol, Orquith Patrol, Casey, etc, etc. I will be doing updates, so make sure you're subscribed for Season 4, because the closer we get, you know, the more breakdowns that will be coming. Alright, so second to last, the Gotham Knights stuff. This one is a bit more like, I wanted to include it because I don't really know how I feel about it. This isn't in the Arrowverse, but like it's on the CW, and I always feel like, kind of as I tweeted out here, Brucey Boy always just has a really rough time of it in the CW shows. And if you're not too familiar with Gotham Knights, long story short, the premise is that Bruce Wayne, instead of like, it's kind of similar to Batwoman, instead of Bruce Wayne just disappearing, not being in the show remotely because he's just effed off after killing the Joker or whatever, so no Batman, right? Gotham needs a protector. In this one, Batman dies, and in the trailer you literally see him in like an actual suit, a tuxedo kind of thing, but with the bat cowl on. I have no idea what's really going on there. I mean, other than obviously getting killed, and I have a little bit of a theory about that. But here we have the actor behind the role of the dead Bruce Wayne, I guess shown in episode 1, the Instagram user David Alexander Miller, and he posts a picture of him basically without the blazer on, but, you know, he's got the suit of when we see him in the trailer dead. He's got the bat cowl there, which, you know, I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of. You know, the bloodied kind of cracked cowl. And, you know, long story short, my theory is that essentially, I guess, considering Harvey Dent is the one going after whoever killed Bruce Wayne, and it is all out there that, oh, Bruce Wayne was Batman, and by the way, Harvey Dent isn't Two-Face and was never Two-Face during Bruce Wayne's, you know, life. But we did hear from Misha Collins that after a year, he does become Two-Face. I wonder if that fits up with the events of the finale. So either way, I really hope it's not as predictable as this. I mean, I don't have much hope for the series anyway, personally, given the look of it. But I do feel like they're just going to go with, oh, you know, Harvey, big bad Harv, backstabbed literally his friend Bruce Wayne, because obviously we know that Bruce and Harvey can be really good friends. But before he becomes Two-Face at the end of the season or after the first year of the timeline of the show, he actually kills Bruce, catches him completely off guard, which is why somehow Batman goes down that way, right? Because one thing I don't like is like Batman dies in a freaking blazer with a cowl on. Maybe he stabs him and then puts the cowl on Bruce. I don't know. Was Bruce mid-change? And he has the cowl on and he gets shanked in the back by Harvey. I don't know. By the way, it might not even be Harvey Dent. But I just feel like the fact that the District Attorney, Harvey Dent, Misha Collins, who I think is a good casting, by the way, is gunning for whoever killed Bruce Wayne, I wouldn't be surprised, even though that's his job, right? Wouldn't be surprised if he was the one to do it. And that's the big reveal. But, it just, I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm not really a big fan of the way Bruce is just lying on the floor there in a freaking suit with a cowl on. Like, how did it go down? Was he actually like going in a telephone box, you know, and changing Superman style or not? I don't know. Just let me know your thoughts. But lastly, with Stargirl Season 3, guys, up until recently, we haven't had too much Stargirl news, but now we actually have a firm release date with the new CW full schedule. And the season premiere for Stargirl Season 3 is Wednesday, August 31st. So a few days ago, and I do recommend checking this out, I did do a teaser trailer breakdown for Stargirl Season 3. It is interesting that they didn't decide to put a release date in that. I know technically it was a few days before they announced this full schedule, but it just said coming soon. So if you want some more general breakdown for some teasers for the season in a little teaser trailer, I do refer you to that video, but just know when it says coming soon in that teaser trailer, it is actually coming Wednesday, August 31st. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we will be doing breakdowns and reviews weekly for the series. I hope it's good. I hope it's better than Season 2. Not that I didn't enjoy Season 2, just preferred Season 1, so I hope that Season 3 is just even better. I mean, why wouldn't I want that for the show? So guys, I think that just about rounds up the news for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on the various topics. Maybe you only came here and tuned into a couple of chapters for the video, or maybe you listened to all the news. Let me know what you thought of the Black Adam stuff, to the Christian Bale stuff, and just everything. We talked about a lot. So if you want to see more videos like this, do let me know. If you enjoyed it and you want to support the content, you know, especially when we try out new videos like this on the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you showed it through the like button. But other than that, I'm gonna love you and leave you now, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you, fellow people of the DC universe, in the next video. Goodbye.